Thank you all for tuning into Big Mama Story Time. Story Time! Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment to my page. Here we go. Hi guys, thank you all for tuning into Big Mama Story Time. Story Time! Today I will be reading to you Disney's Alice in Wonderland. Alright y'all, let's get into this. I don't even know if I remember seeing the movie or not on this. I'm not sure. But, hey. Reading the book, it's not actually like seeing the movie, but at least you know the gist of it. Alright. Once upon a time, there lived a little girl called Alice. One day, Alice was listening to her history lesson. Alice, you're not paying attention, her sister scolded. But it's dull, Alice moaned. The book needs pictures. Nonsense, her sister said. In my world, every book would have pictures, Alice replied, and everything would be nonsense. Okay, be careful what you wish for, Alice. Later, Alice was resting in the soft grass. She thought about her special world and began to fall asleep. Suddenly a white rabbit ran by. I'm late, he cried. It was a talking rabbit in a coat with a pocket watch. Mr. Rabbit, wait, Alice called after him. I'm late for a very important date. No time to talk. I'm late, he answered. Then he disappeared down a rabbit hole. Alice was curious, so she followed the rabbit into the hole. It was dark. She crawled forward. Then the ground disappeared. Alice fell, but she fell very slowly. Strange objects passed by her. A lamp, a mirror, a rocking chair, and still she fell. Perhaps I'll fall right through the earth and out the other side, Alice thought. Finally, Alice reached the bottom. There she saw a little door. Pardon me, Alice said. May I enter? You're too big, the doorknob said. Try the bottle. Alice saw a little bottle marked Drink Me. So she did. Suddenly she shrank. Now Alice was small enough to fit through the door, but it was locked. You forgot the key, the doorknob said. Alice saw the key on top of a table and she was too small to reach it. Now try the box, the doorknob said. Inside the box was a cookie saying, Eat me. Alice ate. She grew into a giant. Oh no, Alice sobbed. She cried and cried. Her giant tears filled the room with water. The bottle, the doorknob cried. Alice drank more and shrank again. This time she became so small she fell inside the bottle. Suddenly she was swept through the door on an ocean of tears. Alice saw a strange dodo and other birds floating along beside her. Mr. Dodo, help me, please, she cried, but he didn't hear her. Alice soon washed ashore where she saw the dodo again. Run with the others, the dodo instructed, or you'll never get dry. But Alice ran after the white rabbit instead. Alice followed the rabbit into a forest where she met Tweedledee and Tweedledum. I'm looking for the white rabbit, Alice told them. Why? Asked Tweedledum. Well, I'm curious, Alice answered. Ah, the twins replied. The oysters were curious too. Then they told Alice the story of the curious oysters. One day, the walrus and his friends, the carpenter, were walking on the beach. The carpenter saw something very interesting below the water. Walrus, the carpenter called, you must see this. Under the water was a group of young oysters. Come Come with me, the walrus said to the oysters. We'll see many things. Shoes, ships, sealing wax, cabbages, and kings. The curious oysters followed the sneaky walrus. The walrus led them to a restaurant with only one thing on the menu: oysters. He ate all of the curious oysters. He didn't even share with his friend. How sad, Alice commented. Yes, sobbed Tweedledum. Now there's a lesson to learn. As the twins cried, Alice quietly slipped away. Alice wandered farther into the forest. Soon she met a big blue caterpillar. Who are you? The caterpillar asked. I hardly know, sir, Alice answered. I've changed my size so many times. The caterpillar stood up and began to spin around and around. When he stopped, he had turned into a beautiful butterfly. Here's a tip, he said. One side will make you larger. The other side will make you smaller. Other side of what? Alice asked. The mushroom, of course, he shouted as he flew away. Alice was tired of being there 3 inches tall. She broke off a piece of the mushroom from each side. She ate one, and shoom, she grew taller than the trees. Oh dear, Alice cried. Will I ever get the hang of this? She gently licked the other piece. Alice shrank back down to normal size. Now that's better, she said. Alice continued her search for the white rabbit, but soon she was lost. Then she heard a voice up in a tree. Diddle-dee-dum, duddle-da-diddle. Cattle-dee-dum, sang the voice. Alice looked up. She didn't see anything. Then a smiling face magically appeared. Why, you're a cat, Alice said. A Cheshire cat, he replied as his body appeared from nowhere. I'm looking for the white rabbit, Alice said. Where should I go? Where do you want to go? The Cheshire cat asked. Well, I don't know, Alice answered. Then it doesn't matter. If I were looking for a rabbit, I'd stand on my head, the silly cat said. You could ask the March Hare. He's to the left. I'd ask the Mad Hatter. He's to the right. He really is mad, but most everyone here is. As you can see, even I'm not all there. Then the Cheshire cat disappeared. Alice walked to the Mad Hatter's house. She heard voices singing. It was the Mad Hatter, the March Hare, and the Dormouse. They were having a tea party. Alice sat down. You can't sit. It's rude, the March Hare said. I'm sorry, Alice replied, but I liked your singing. You did? Really? The Mad Hatter asked. Then you must join us. Yes, join our unbirthday party, the March Hare added. Unbirthday? Alice asked. Yes, the Mad Hatter explained. There are 365 days in a year. You have one birthday and 364 unbirthdays. I see, Alice said, but I'm looking for the white rabbit. The cat said, Cat, shouted Dormouse, who had been sleeping in the teapot. He jumped out and ran around the table. You see what you did? The Mad Hatter yelled at Alice. I'm sorry, Alice said, but I really don't have time for this silliness. Time? I have no time. I'm late. It was the right rabbit. No wonder, the Mad Hatter cried. Your watch is 2 days late. I'll fix it. The Mad Hatter fixed the watch with butter, cream, sugar, and of course tea. Oh wow. Oh, my poor watch, the rabbit cried, running off. are mad. Alice grew tired of the mad tea party. She left. What silly nonsense, she said. I've had enough nonsense. I'm going home. Alice walked farther into the forest. She came to a sign marked Tugley Wood and followed it. Soon Alice was surrounded by all kinds of strange, nonsensical animals. Oh no, Alice cried. I can't take any more. I wish I had never dreamed of the world where everything was nonsense. Then Alice heard a familiar song. Diddle-dee-dum, duddle-da-diddle, cattle-dee-dum. Oh, Cheshire Cat, it's you, Alice called. I've had enough. I want to go home, but I've lost my way. That's because always here are the Queen's rays, he replied. Queen? What queen? Alice asked. You haven't met her? The cat asked. Oh, you must. She'll be mad about you. Then a doorway opened in the tree. Oh, wow. I don't know if you want to go through there. All right, Alice. Alice entered. Soon she heard 3 playing cards singing about painting roses red. Why are you doing that? Alice asked the 3 playing cards. We planted white roses by mistake, the 2 of clubs replied. The Queen of Hearts likes red. If she finds out, she'll chop off our heads. Alice hurried to help them. Suddenly, the sound of drums and trumpets blared. It's the Queen, the cards cried. The Queen is coming. Alice and the cards got down on their knees, announcing Her Royal Majesty, the Queen of Hearts, the White Rabbit proclaimed. Oh, and the King, too, he added. Oh, wow. They don't care about it. And look at the king, so smaller than the queen. Oh, y'all. That's crazy. Why, you're a little girl, the queen said, looking at Alice. What are you doing here? I want to go home, Alice replied. Alice answered, but I've lost my way. Your way? And the queen roared, every way is my way. Remember that. Then the queen invited Alice to play a game of croquet. But what a game. Instead of a ball, the queen used a hedgehog. Wow. And instead of a mallet, she used a flamingo. Oh, wow. That's terrible. The queen finished her shot. Then it was Alice's turn. Alice tried, but the flamingo wouldn't play along. Do you want us both to lose our heads? Alice asked a silly flamingo. Alice got angry. She grabbed the bird and whacked the ball as hard as she could. The shot was better than the queen's. The queen was furious. Off with her head, she screamed. Shouldn't we have a trial first, dear? Asked the king. Oh, very well, the queen replied angrily. Why, you want to off her head because she won? Don't be sore losers, everyone. Don't be sore losers. Everybody gathered around the queen in her court. Hear ye, the White Rabbit cried. Court is now in session. But what have I done? Alice pleaded. Silence, the queen demanded. Oh, forget the trial. Let's just cut her off her head. Let's just cut off her head. Alice stuck her hands into her pockets. She found a piece of mushroom. She quickly ate it and grew into a giant. Now see here, Alice said to a shocked queen. You have no right to treat me like this. You're no queen. You're a nasty, bad-tempered old tyrant. But the mushroom's effect was wearing off. Alice shrank back down to her regular size. Oh, wow, Alice. Uh-oh, you gotta run, Alice. Oh, no! Alice was in trouble. She ran. Soon Alice saw the small door she had used to enter this nonsense world. Alice grabbed the doorknob. I must get out, she cried. You are out, the doorknob said. See for yourself. Alice looked through the keyhole. She saw herself sleeping under the tree. Wake up! Wake up! She yelled. Alice! They coming after her. Alice, Alice. Alice woke up. She was back. Alice, her sister said, you were dreaming. What nonsense. Yes, it was nonsense. Alice agreed. It was fun, but I've had enough nonsense to last me for quite some time. Shall we go home now? I know that's right, Alice. All right, that is the end of Alice in Wonderland. I actually liked that book. That was good. All right, guys. That was Disney's Alice in Wonderland. I hope you like what I read today and how I read it, hopefully. Thank you all for tuning in to Big Mama Story Time. Bye.